The fire on the campaign trail today over the controversial comments made by one-time vice presidential candidate and Hillary Clinton supporter Geraldine Ferraro. As always, we're on their trail, assessing the latest misstatements, cheap shots, and blunders on the road to the White House. Tonight, Ferraro resigned from the Clinton campaign after refusing to apologize, including during an interview with me today. The comment that created the controversy? Ferraro quoted by a California newspaper, the Daily Breeze, saying, if Obama was a white man, he would not be in this position, and if he was a woman of any color, he would not be in this position. He happens to be very lucky to be who he is, and the country is caught up in the concept. Senator Clinton tried to calm the storm today.
Obviously, I don't agree with what she said, and I said that earlier today, and I regret that.
Is that an apology?
Well, I didn't say it, and I regret that it was said, and I obviously reject that. I don't agree with that.
But Ferraro continues to vehemently stand by what she said, going as far as to say tonight that the Obama camp owes her an apology for playing the race card.
I personally think that this is the last time that the Obama campaign is going to be able to play this type of a race card, because I think that's what it is.
You're saying they're playing the race card.
Absolutely. And I tell you, if anybody was going to, they should apologize to me for calling me a racist.
I spoke to Ferraro today as well, and she was just as forceful, telling me, quote, I'm not a racist. I will not apologize. What I said is the truth. It's a fact. Maybe what I've done a politically incorrect thing, but it's honest. Now, when I asked her about saying Obama was, quote, lucky, she told me, quote, maybe that was not a good use of the word. Ferraro then turned her fire towards the Obama campaign, telling me, quote, they have come at me with some of the vilest emails you have ever seen. It's amazing how many times that campaign raises the race card. So here to help separate fact from fiction, cheap shot from fair game, MSNBC political analyst and Air America host Rachel Maddow, MSNBC political analyst Pat Buchanan, and Democratic strategist Keli Goff. Look, whether the comments are racist or not, I'm sticking by my ruling from earlier this week that this is a blunder for the Clinton campaign. They've denounced her comments, but they certainly didn't stop her from going out and defending them when she was still part of the campaign. And I just can't see how this helps the Clinton campaign in a Democratic primary, Pat.
Well, I don't think it does help the Clinton campaign, but I don't think it helps the Obama campaign now either, because Geraldine Ferraro is an icon of American women. She's a heroine to feminists all over. And the fact that she's been driven out of this campaign and humiliated for something I think was utterly inoffensive, a simple statement of fact, I think is going to hurt Obama in his effort to try to bring the party together. And so I think it's both campaigns have been damaged, and the Democratic Party's been damaged.
Rachel, hero to feminists everywhere. I think you probably consider yourself a feminist.
It's hard to, as much as I love Pat, and Pat, as much as you and I spend a lot of time on TV together, it's hard to hear you define the icons of feminism, I have to say. I don't think that people are going to be mad about Geraldine Ferraro getting kicked out of the Clinton campaign for this. I think what she said was patently ridiculous. It not only was over the line, it was ridiculous. Like he's won some sort of black privilege lottery that we didn't know about before. The fact that she wasn't drummed out of the campaign sooner is the only scandal here.
But what she's been doing, Kelly, is she's been trying to say, tell me whether it's true. In essence, she's been saying, look, we know she said similar comments about Jesse Jackson.
It's luckier to be born a black man in America based on all the statistics. That's patently false.
But her comments are that she made the same comments about herself, being a woman, that she never would have become vice president in 1984.
You define your experience as a white female in America and sort of leave everyone else's experience as part of, one of the minority groups in this country to them. And I think what's really, the real crime in all of this was not the initial statement, it was how she behaved afterwards. People tend to give the benefit of the doubt to allow people to explain the context and what have you. And to come back and say that she's the victim after making it was like she inserted one foot in her mouth, Dan, and was so hungry she had to go for the second.
Here's more of what she said tonight on Nightly News.
I have spent 40 years fighting discrimination. I mean, it is so hurtful. They had a campaign of over 100 negative emails, phone calls to my office. They actually got in touch with the CEO of the firm that they thought I was still with and urged him to fire me, which is, it was crazy.
Rachel, when I talked to Geraldine Ferraro today, she was basically telling me that they have been playing the race card, the Obama camp, again and again. In the context of this campaign. She also cited the example of Bill Clinton in South Carolina, etc. Whether you agree with her or not, probably not the best way to help Hillary Clinton. in the Democratic primary.
It's almost like you can't get more fundamental than this. If you say that a person's achievements should be questioned on the basis of their race, that he got some sort of secret free pass that all black men get at birth in America, and then say that the target of that accusation is the person who played the race card, it's logically impossible. It actually makes no sense at all. I mean, there's no grounds on which this can be defended as being Obama's fault. It doesn't even make sense.
Go ahead, Pat.
Look, if Barack Obama thinks there's no correlation between the fact he's an African American and his career has been so spectacular, he would be as delusional as George W. Bush saying the fact he's president of the United States has nothing, I don't care whether you do or not, had nothing to do with the fact that the first George Bush was president of the United States. Look, Barack Obama got 91% of the African American vote in Mississippi. He was, as a state senator, given the spectacular honor of keynoting the Democratic Convention. Does anyone think that had nothing to do with the fact that he's an African American?
Pat, I'm literally having to stop Kelly and Rachel from screaming.
Let them go.
Kelly,
Dan.
go ahead.
It's important that they go.
You didn't even start securing the majority of the black vote until you got to South Carolina. So to just make this blatant assumption, this generalization that he was just winning all of the black vote because of on the strength of being black is ludicrous. And to compare someone like Barack Obama, who's a self-made individual, to someone like George W. Bush, who you're correct,
hang on.
achieved most of his accomplishments on the strength of his father's name, it's just not even comparable. It's so insulting. And I'm actually not surprised to hear you make such a correlation. What conservative wouldn't? I mean, this is so typical.
Look. In Iowa and New Hampshire, there aren't that many black folks. He skipped Michigan. The first big contest was South Carolina. Hold it.
There are no black people there, but he wants to be black.
Shut up for a second, please.
Excuse me, don't talk like that, Pat. That's inappropriate. Really inappropriate.
Wait, stop. Everyone stop.
The first contest was South Carolina, and he got 76% of the black vote. Case closed.
He wasn't winning the majority. Then you're forgetting all the states that came before that, Pat. He was not over. Nationally, in the national polls, he was not winning the majority of black voters. In all the national polls, he was splitting the vote with Hillary Clinton. So you're factually wrong.
Let me just jump in there. First of all, I would just say, as a matter of procedure here, Pat, I've been on television with you a million times. I've never heard you tell anybody to shut up before. That was absolutely, completely ridiculous of you. Second of all, tell me about how the black vote explains Obama's win in Utah.
I'm not saying that's the only thing, for heaven's sakes, neither did she. He's done a tremendous campaign. But indispensable to his success is these enormous numbers he's rolling up in the South among African Americans and in every other state.
What race are you watching?
No one says that's the only thing. If she had said, I'd disagree with her.
You're saying he's only winning because he's black and black people want to vote for him.
I'm not saying only. No one has said only. It's an attribute in this race. And as Joe Biden said, he's got a storybook.
Well, that's why. Try being a black man for a day and see how well that works out for you. I'm sure you'll have a lovely time in America.
We just read the biographies of the previous black presidents.
All right. So, all right. Look, the bottom line is, I rule on these. I'm going against Clinton on our scorecard. As I said before, this is only bad for her in the primaries. Whatever you think of the statement, however you interpret it, this is only bad for Hillary Clinton. Giving us one strike against Clinton, none for Obama. Moving on. I think the rest of these are going to be a lot easier, I promise.